Hi, thanks for watching this 5-minute demo. Of course, it'll be presented live, and I'll begin with a song by Kate Wolf called Give Yourself to Love. So I want you to imagine that we're on a spaceship way out in space. We only have so much water, so much air, so many resources. Well, that's Earth. We're essentially a spaceship out in space. We have a finite amount of resources that cannot be resupplied. My favorite class in college was titled Spaceship Earth. The term was coined by Buckminster Fuller in the early 1950s. Fuller was one of the world's first futurists and global thinkers. His book, Operating Manual for Spaceship Earth, was published in 1968 and inspired Disney World's Epcot Center. Our planet is covered 70% in water, but only 2% of that is drinkable, and half of that is frozen in the polar ice caps and glaciers. Our human population is increasing exponentially, and right now we have over 7 billion people on this planet, many with no access to clean water. I think the reason I've always been so passionate about our beautiful Earth is that I spent my early childhood growing up in a little town south of Cleveland called Berea, Ohio. The Cuyahoga River ran through there and was aptly named by the local Native American tribe as it meant Crooked River. The Cuyahoga River was at one time the most polluted river in the USA. It was so polluted that it used to catch on fire. The first time it caught on fire was 1796, and then it caught on fire 13 more times after that, mostly in the 60s. The 13th time it caught on fire, in 1969, it attracted Time magazine to write an article. This spurred the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act, the Great Lakes Quality Agreement, Ohio Environmental Agency, and the EPA. Just some interesting trivia I found while researching. There were a few songs written after the Cuyahoga River fires, and the Great Lakes Brewing Company even named a beer Burning River Pale Ale. So in 2010, when the Gulf oil spill happened, New York Times economist and Nobel laureate Paul Krugman referred to the Cuyahoga River fires in the 60s as the start of environmentalism. However, I found this interesting website. I hope you'll check it out. I wish I had more time to touch on this, but actually, environmentalism has been around since the beginning of time. So just let me take some time for the history in the USA. In 1832, George Catlin was the first person to suggest making national parks. He worried about the impact of America's westward expansion on Indian civilization, wildlife, and wilderness. You may remember him as the famous painter of Native Americans. He traveled with Lewis and Clark and visited over 50 Indian tribes. Of course, the Native Americans were the greatest environmentalists of all. This has always been one of my favorite sayings from Chief Seattle. This we know, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. All things are connected like the blood which unites one family. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. So also in the 19th century, there were several famous authors you might be familiar with. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, and then John Muir, who started the first state park, Yosemite Valley, and was the founder of the Sierra Club in 1892. In 1906, the Antiquities Act was passed, authorizing presidents to set aside historic land as national monuments. President Theodore Roosevelt proclaimed more national monuments and parks than any other president in U.S. history. Between 1901 and 1909, 5 national parks were including Mesa Verde right here in Colorado. So then I touch on the Industrial Revolution and sing a song called Dying of Human Souls. And while that's playing, I have some slides of the oceans dying and animals that have gone extinct and that are going extinct. So thank you so much for watching this demo of my What Can I Do multimedia concert. This is just the first 5 minutes or so of a 60 to 75 minute presentation. In the rest of the show, I will present some more information on water, plastic bottles, plastic bags, how many paper coffee cups go to the landfill every day, basically how we've become a disposable society. There will be 3 more slideshows done with live music, and these will include the beautiful photography of Colorado's Karl Snyder and John Fielder. I will also offer solutions between segments. What can I do? What can I do to help this planet? I believe it's the little things that we can do that are very important, and the little things that add up that would make a big difference. Just ask yourself, what can you do?